Have your friends or family members told you that your opioid use is out of control? Recognizing that there's a problem is the first step on the road to recovery. If you're ready to seek help, make a free and confidential call to the Tennessee Red Line at 1-800-889-9789 or visit ShelbyTNHealth.com and click on opioids.
Today's Homeowner with Danny Lipford, Sunday afternoons from 1 to 3 on KWAM, FM 107.9 and AM 990. Here's Business Spotlight from your local voice, FM 107.9 and AM 990. And here's your host, George Bryant.
Good morning. It is Tuesday morning here in the Mid-South. One of my favorite days because we get to talk with Traci Strickland. Welcome, Traci.
Good morning, George. How are you this morning?
I'm doing fabulous. You know, Traci, thank you for coming in on Tuesday mornings. She is the Senior VP of Marketing for Triumph Bank, one of our great community banks here in the Mid-South, really rolling up their sleeves and helping everybody in the Mid-South. I mean, stepping up and helping clean up neighborhoods and, doing a lot of stuff outside of just doing business. And I really admire that of, you, Will Chase, the whole staff. Because it is easy to get caught up in your own world as running a business, and you just go, man, I'm just dealing with my own thing. But you guys put a lot of energy and effort into reaching out and taking care of the community. I really admire that. Matter of fact, in speaking of that, Art for Jobs.
Yes.
How did that go?
Oh, it was fantastic. I know we had Steve Nash on with us last week, the executive director at Advance Memphis, and it was their biggest event so far. It was their 8th one they've had, and I was there for about an hour and a half, and I think they had well over 500 attendees. We had we not only sponsor the event, but a couple of years ago, Will, our CEO, wanted to provide even more help to the event. So we offered to hire Southern Ballet, who's a great local company, to provide ballet services for them. So they were scrambling last week. So we'll probably have more drivers help us next year. But they also had some different music groups perform, and one of those music groups was Angel Street Memphis, and we had Jill Dyson on
so awesome.
earlier this season. Her young women in North Memphis, they're starting their group in the Graham Heights area this week. They came and sang 3 numbers, and I just say they blew the roof off the warehouse. It was amazing. So to see our community partners come together for a common purpose, it was just a culmination of a lot of just joy.
It's so exciting, and you guys, again, do a great job with all that. And how did that, I know the other thing was, before we leave that topic, there was a lady that was going to be, or an artist that was going to be painting on Mary Beth Conley's show.
Oh, yeah.
Did he ever say how that went?
I didn't hear about that, but it was the artist.
Of the promo.
Terry Lynn, and he actually has his studio in the warehouse. He was one of 3 featured artists last Thursday. So I'm assuming he painted live. I follow him on Instagram, and he paints live on his Instagram feed all the time, and he's phenomenal. I'm actually tonight going to an event for another one of our community partners, Binghampton Christian Academy, and they are having the grand opening of their new art house that was a donated new building on their campus, and Terry has done a lot of work with those students to provide some art classes and instruction, and so it really is a full circle, just a beautiful feeling to see our community. I know we've had a lot of sad news in Memphis this past week, and it's kind of takes the air out of our sails, to say the least, when tragedy happens every day. And I love this opportunity. There's so much good going on in our city, and to be able to have the opportunity to partner with the great organizations throughout the city, to just not only spotlight the good that's going on, but to allow our team to come in, experience that. Our team has always changed when they get an opportunity to work with the kids or the adults or whatever programming is going on, and to know that, just the tiny things they can do to make a difference. It really it means so much. And we have a newer partnership with a group called Memphis Inner City Rugby group. They were founded just a couple of years ago. Rugby is kind of, it's a great sport. It's been around for a long time. Not a lot of schools have that program. But some gentlemen have formed this group, and what they do is they recruit. Right now, they're recruiting high school students in the Binghamton area to form not only a boys rugby team but a girls rugby team. And I didn't even know there was a girls rugby until just recently. They have just gone like wildfire. They're playing teams all over the state. They're winning national championships. But what they have realized is that they don't have an opportunity to keep that talent in Memphis. There's no college in town right now that has a rugby program, not even U of M. So they have contacted some people at Christian Brothers University, and they are going to be forming, they're looking to form the first girls and boys rugby teams next fall, and being able to recruit the students from Memphis Inner City Rugby that are from the Binghamton area. Most of them would be first-generation college students that would have an opportunity to flourish and be able to stay in their own hometown, but be able to play rugby and do that. So we're going to be supporting Christian Brothers in that effort to
See, that's a great example.
provide scholarships for those kids who may want to get into the STEM program and get into engineering as a background and grow and develop some great skills that are going to take them the rest of their lives, but be able to keep that talent in Memphis.
And to your point, Tracy, there are a lot of great things going on in our community, and our news, local news. If it bleeds, it leads concept. Right. We don't really see all that, and that's why it's so good when our local businesses like yours, reaches out and really spotlights those and supports them. Right. Because there are a lot of good things going on in our community. A lot of great people here, and but it gets clouded up whenever a lot of the bad things that that's breaking news.
I know. Well, we support the Daily Memphian, and I know that Eric Barnes, who is the publisher there, he said we are not going to be featuring last night's murder, and obviously with Phil Trinieri's death last week, he had to pause and say, well, we need to talk about this because it's a bigger issue. But, I think that what we do pride ourselves at Triumph is when we have great leadership at the top who care so deeply about our community. Our board is so well connected in working with groups to help with economic development and financial literacy throughout our city. And so they founded our bank 12 years ago to be a community bank, and we wouldn't be living our mission and our duty every day if we didn't go out and figure out how we can make a difference. So we're just proud to be here and proud to be able to spotlight all these
doing
groups.
such a great job. For those just tuning in, we're talking with Traci Strickland. She is a Senior VP of Marketing for Triumph Bank. I want to talk a little bit about them. We mentioned that they're a local community bank. Triumph Bank started back in 2006.
Yeah, crazy.
And so you've got quite a few years behind you now. 4 locations here in Memphis, popular I-240, Germantown, Collierville, Arlington, have expanded to Nashville now.
That's right. We just had an article in the Nashville Business Journal. Our full-service branch opened about a month ago, and our team is just truly incredible. They're not new to Nashville. They have had deep roots in the Nashville banking market, and
that was what was. I
incredible.
remember early on when you guys were setting that up, you were talking about that. You guys have tapped in with some form a relationship with people who were already inside Nashville, and so it just exploded out of that. So really fabulous, a great bank, local people. And I also want to invite you right now. We're going to take a quick break. We'll come back. We're going to talk a little bit more about Triumph Bank. But join us on Facebook Live right now. We're streaming live. If you haven't ever done that, you can look in our studio and see us. But we are live in the studio this morning. You're listening to The Voice, FM 107.9 and AM 990.
Now, here's your Mid-South weather forecast from the News Channel 3 Severe Weather Center and Todd Demers, right here on KWAM The Voice, FM 107.9 and AM 990.
Partly to mostly cloudy skies this afternoon with high temperatures in the upper 80s. Not much of a breeze. The winds will be light and from the south. Chance for an isolated afternoon shower. We drop into the low 70s overnight, but will warm to near 90 once again for both Wednesday and Thursday. Racquet Club proud to introduce a new wellness program, Live Well. Wellness is not a destination, it's a lifestyle. Call the Racquet Club to learn more at 901-765-4444. I'm News Channel 3's Todd Demers on The Voice, FM 107.9 and AM 990.
And now back to Business Spotlight on The Voice, FM 107.9 and AM 990.
Welcome back to our studios. It is Tuesday morning with Traci Strickland. Let's talk growth with Triumph Bank. And Traci, we were going to talk a little bit. I know we were talking about some of the great things that you guys do in the community side, but also real quick, I know that what I really love about the bank is if you're an individual and you want to, you're tired of being maybe disrespected or red tape that goes on in some of the banks where, you just don't feel like you're appreciated. Triumph Bank has that warmth, and you guys offer some really state-of-the-art, special, unique tools that you can stay home if you want and bank, or you can come in, of course, and get greeted with a nice smile from the tellers.
Yeah, that's right.
So I'd like to really spotlight that for a minute because you guys do a great job.
Well, thanks, George. And I just appreciate all your kind words always. I mean, there's a lot of good bankers throughout the city of Memphis. I'm clearly talking about Triumph and so proud of our bank. But I think that so many people's experiences have been clouded, especially over the past 10 years, just about you walk into a bank and nobody knows your name. It's not like Cheers, but to, be greeted by somebody who you really genuinely feel might care about your finances. I mean, our team, when you walk into many of our offices, whether it's at our Ridgeway Commercial and Mortgage Banking Center where I work every day, or our Poplar headquarters, or I think our Farmington office in Germantown, all of our other offices will be getting this soon. But you walk in and you see these words on a glass wall. And so I think a lot of our team doesn't even realize we came up with that idea about 4 years ago, and I did an employee engagement survey. And I asked the team, I said, if you could summarize how you would want a Triumph customer to feel when they walk into one of our offices, what would that word be? And so the words that you see on our walls are words that our team created. And so they had a part in creating our customer experience. But our bankers, whether or not you do need a good checking account, we've got obviously a free complimentary checking account. We have a great performance checking account. But one team that I haven't had a chance to bring on this season, I know I will next year, is our medical banking team. This is a group of all-stars that joined us from about a year ago from another bank. Holly Bronson runs that team. She's had well over 20 years of experience in the private banking world. When I say private banking, that's when you've got your bankers, not only their email and their direct work line, but their cell phone number. They're going to come to you. You don't have to worry about coming into the office. I mean, their team is just a high touch, custom tailored approach.
It's almost like a personal valet.
It's exactly what it is, and that's a great way to put it, George. And so that if you need, they do tons. We've done so many different lunches at UT, West Clinic. There's just a ton of different medical offices that they want to come and get to know the doctors. They do a great event at what they call Match Day. So when all of the doctors are graduating from medical school, we want them to know that it doesn't matter that they haven't been a doctor for 20 years and have, sizable wealth to be able to open an account. That doesn't matter. We want to be able to take, they take the doctors from right out of medical school all the way through their career. And they've got specialized products just for the medical profession, the dental profession, attorneys. We've got a certain page on our website, is triumphbank.com/medical banking. So if you are in the medical field and would like to hear more about what Holly and Bess and her team can do, please check that out. But, we do always focus on technology and being able to provide the latest state of the art, those kind of services that any other larger bank can do, but our team will walk you right through it. So when you walk in, open a checking account, stay for a few minutes. Let our bankers show you not only how to get online, but how to use your mobile app. It kind of blows my mind. There's things that are added to our app almost quarterly, that new services. Obviously, we can take pictures of our checks and do mobile deposits. We've been doing that for a little bit now. But, to be able to pay your bills through your mobile app, you can take a picture of one of your bills from MLGW or whatever, and it just sets that up on a recurring basis. So we obviously want all of our clients and customers to come into our bank branches, but we know how busy life is, and we don't want, going to a bank to be just another errand or another burdensome thing. Our bankers, we are relationship bankers, and we want to make sure that our customers know that we're going to come to you. We're going to do whatever we can to help you say yes. Whether it's, I know we had Lillian Rucker in earlier at the beginning of our season talk about HELOCs.
That's right.
There's always those different seasons in life. Whether or not your child's getting married, you need a little extra money to pay for the wedding, or your son or daughter's going off to college, or you're just needing those extra funds to have that line of credit. Talk to our bankers about the competitive rates we can have on that for extra projects for your home. They have wonderful construction rehab loans.
That's right.
We have a house in High Point Terrace. There's houses all over the city that people are deciding to stay within the loop and get their house or renovate some things. Our bankers can help with those type of loans at very competitive rates, one-time closes. So it's an exciting time, and if you have a great banking relationship, I think I always say, stay with somebody who's taking good care of you. But if there's ever that time where you're second guessing, whether it's a rate, we don't like to compete with rates, but I think the big thing is you need to be able to sleep at night with your finances and be able to know that somebody truly cares about your goals and dreams as much as highly invested in them as you are, and allow us to have that second look for you, just to let us see if there's a way we could make things easier for you.
We're talking with Traci Strickland with Triumph Bank. And Traci, I know that, we're part of the name of this show is Let's Talk Growth.
Right.
And you do, the really cool thing is we've had different people from part of your team through the radio show that I know what sticks to me is that if you're going in and sit down and talk to them about a business loan, if you're a business owner,
That's right.
you're running a business and you could use a little capital, when you come in and sit down at your bank, you get a consultant. You don't just get a loan.
That's
I mean,
right.
you get a consultant. I mean, they help you, so they dig into your business, and it's really cool.
Whether it's the commercial real estate side, whether or not you're needing to buy equipment, buy a building, whatever it is, or you're just needing that little extra that is going to take you to the second level in your business, that's exactly right. I mean, our bankers want to be able to sit down with you and not just say, hey, we've got this one product, you're not really going to match that, I'm so sorry we can't help you. Our goal as Triumph Bankers is to say yes to you and to be able to develop those customized creative solutions so that they can help them take that next step in growth. They're not going to make a hasty, unwise decision if they realize that whether or not somebody that's buying a house, like Jeff Hay was talking about, or with Doug Vanover with commercial real estate, they're not going to do a deal that's not going to be wise for the customer, but they are, like you said, George, they're going to be counseling them through that process to say, well, I don't know if you're ready right now, but let's put these certain processes in place. Let's keep visiting the next 3 months, 6 months, 12 months down the road, And by that time, if you do of all these things, let's stay in touch and we'll make this happen for you. Just like when Jeff was, saying there's times people want to buy a house and, their credit's not quite right.
Right.
Or, they just need to make some adjustments in their financial situation. We don't just say, bye, thanks, we can't help you. I mean, that's the cruelest thing. I can't fathom that, there's things that happen like that. But we want to be able to be that consultant and to, be able to have our customers have triumphs, like our latest My Triumph customer story is Octavius Nixon. And if you go to our Facebook page, we feature that video. It'll be on our website soon.
Oh,
and
cool.
Octavius is a success story of all accounts. He was actually a graduate of Binghamton Christian Academy years ago. Went on to French camp. He had wonderful men that were mentors of his, and he wanted to start a construction company. So he's in his late 20s. Had gone to several different banks, and just being young and starting a business. It's very easy for some of the larger banks that can have that ability to say, we can't help you right now. Right. And somebody thankfully referred him over to us. Tim Martin, one of our commercial bankers, sat down with him and not only helped him develop a line of credit, but be able to put that commercial mortgage together for him to buy his building to help grow his construction business. And Octavius hires guys that have had trouble in their former lives and their backgrounds that are rehabilitated and want to be able to have a job and work. And so it's just a true success story on how we've been able to step in, make a little difference for Octavius, but he's making the difference in the community through doing his great work. So when we're able to help our customers and we can see the story that they're telling, it's just so rewarding.
We're talking with Traci Strickland with Triumph Bank. Let's Talk Growth. One of the things, this is kind of crazy, but what do you think? Look in your crystal ball. Are
I keep that in my back pocket all the time.
What about checks? Are we gonna not 5 years from now? We're gonna even know what a check is.
Well, I mean,
banking is moving so much toward
it's pretty crazy. I mean, there's so many terms. We've got Bitcoin, which I clearly don't even quite grasp yet. It's going to be where at some point, I don't know if it's going to be 5 years. I would say maybe 20. And I'll listen to this show, way in the future, and I'll probably laugh at myself. But I think there may always be checks. I know that check orders at our bank has just completely fallen off. But I think that there are some people that absolutely do like to write a check. And I think that as more technology becomes more commonplace, I
become more comfortable and assured. And that's one thing I love about what you guys are doing. You guys are really working on the security side of all that.
Oh,
where you can feel you can trust it.
Right.
And I know I'm slowly moving into, where I do auto bill pays and things like that.
Yeah.
But I just, I just hear too much on the other side.
Right.
But I know that with Triumph Bank, you guys are really at the forefront.
Right. Well, I think that there's a lot of different ways. Obviously people still pay in cash sometimes, but I'm like, why in the world would you do that? I've always talked about my favorite part of our app is the pop money thing, so that if I need to send you money, I just do it. I just literally pull up my app. I go to payments, pay a person, and I put in your cell phone number and your name, put in the dollar amount, and you get a text. Yeah. And then you enter your information and the money just automatically transfers. So the need for checks is completely going away. We just don't want it to get where people don't feel like they need a banker, because there's so many there are a lot of online banks where there's literally no relationship. But I think that what we've talked about so many times, whether it's Will talking about, you really do need those. If you're a business owner, you need those consultants around you. You need your banker. You need your CPA. You need your accountant. Those voices that would be able to keep you on the straight and narrow and make sure that your business is running smoothly, because you never know when something's going to happen. And having that personal connection, somebody you can personally call and say, I need I need this help, and then
absolutely.
you've got that person. You
Walk
don't
me through it.
work with the
Yeah.
bank. You work with that person, and
Yeah.
so that's what we pride ourselves on. And we would completely open arms welcome any of our customers to call. Our main number is 901-333-8800. That's our Poplar location, but they will be able to transfer you
Right.
anywhere. But
And then go to the website,
please do.
triumphbank.com.
yeah,
It's a
and
great
go to all of
website.
our offices and numbers and locations are there. Visit us and give us a chance. We'd love that opportunity.
Well, we've run out of time, as they say.
Oh, no. Yes.
But one thing I didn't mention, but I want to throw out there, we've talked so much about all the great things with the bank, but also if you want to start, if you're new and you haven't ever opened a checking account,
Yes.
you guys have a great program for that.
We do.
So new
Yes.
startup,
Young professionals. I mean,
Yeah.
it really doesn't matter your age. I mean, please come in. We will have a good
get
product that'll be
started with
custom tailored
banking.
for you. Yes.
At Triumph Bank. It'll be a great experience. Thank you, Tracy.
Thanks, George.
Let's talk growth, Triumph Bank. You're listening to The Voice, FM 107.9 and AM 990.
The Mid-South Business Report with stories from the West